Where the cows cross. What city is this? Stay tuned, you'll have the answer to that and other questions. This is the story of our travels in the 1971 Hobo houseboat. We started in Sanford, Florida in spring of 2024. We spent 21 days and we went up to saltwater and returned home. This is the story of day 16, which is the beginning of our trip home. We started out at the Jim King free dock, and there's a boat ramp. This is in the morning, and it's a very bright morning, a lot calmer and more kind than it was the previous day. We were thankful for this safe place to stay for the night. That's a picture of a bay where we were considering anchoring, but it was too windy for us to get a good purchase on the hard packed sand. Sitting Clapboard Creek back to the St. John's, or it's the ICW at this point, and you can see there's a freighter here, so we're just going to hang back a bit, let him pass, and then we'll cross his wake, and we're going to be turning right, heading west. It's Friday, April the 5th. We just left Clapboard Creek behind us in the ICW. We're heading upriver now towards Jacksonville, ultimately to Sanford. We couldn't time things just right, but we've got slight tidal current against us at this moment, and we've got the wind against us. But at this time of the morning, it's just a little after 8 o'clock. Nothing has developed in terms of waves. It's actually smooth sailing, and we look forward to today. This is Blount Island, heading westerly. We look up there, there's the channel around Blount Island. Blount Island is like a half section of pie, and this is the flat side right here. Up there, just a little bit, there's a bridge. I think that's it. There's a creek right there. Just go up that a little bit, as I recall, and there's a place called Palms Fish Camp, and that's one place I hope to go to, but the timing is such that it's more like breakfast time now rather than lunch or dinner, so we're not going there today. These are a few of the sites on our way towards downtown Jacksonville. They are a repeat. They are described in better detail in part 8, the previous day's episode, and there's a mix of industrial and residential all along. Yeah, this is Terminal Channel on the St. John's, of course, just on the east edge of Jacksonville. They're both loading and unloading at the same time. Yeah, all three cranes are going. They resemble the AT walkers of the Imperial Forces on the Star Wars series of movies. Yeah, Janet is piloting the boat, and I came back to finish off the coffee, and she's driving very steadily. It's not too rough. Yeah, through the plastic. Anyhow, it's very smooth. I'm glad, because if this were to spill this delicious coffee, I'd have to cry me a river of salty tears. I think we're in that river right now, so that'll save me the trouble. I had thought maybe this was a car carrier before, but it's a truck carrier. The containers are already with axles, and these little tugs are loading them. They have multi-level loading dock, and so that looks like it's a 3-layer barge for those containers that are already attached with axles. Okay, this is a dolphin watch. We keep seeing dolphins all the time, but you can't get a camera fast enough, so we see them 1 or 2 at a time. One was right there playing around, and will it resurface? Where will he or she come? We'll see if we can catch the elusive dolphin. We've seen one shark And it definitely was a shark fin, like the way it cruises up slowly and then goes down slowly. The dolphins do the arc, like woo, and they're a gray color. Okay, no dolphin. This is the I-295 bridge. We're just west of Blount Island. I-295 is, I guess, a ring road. This is the northern one. There is one farther to the south as you leave Jacksonville as well. This is the industrial area around it. There are tugboats immediately adjacent to the bridge. There's some aggregate handling. I think it's sand, gravel. I'm not sure if there are other dry goods shipped in. Yeah, here we are. We're headed northwest at the moment. If you can see, waves are more or less out of the north, and every once in a while we got some that throw some over our little gator or whatever you want to call it, combing. So it's refreshing to get some spray.
They just go like this.
Yeah. So this is how we deal with wakes and how you have to in a little boat. We're just putzing along at, actually we got it cranked up to 6.7 miles per hour right now. And
wow, yeah,
this cruiser, yeah, it's okay. We'll see what kind of wake he makes. He's sitting pretty low, so
wow.
There's the wake. Sometimes it washes out, and no, actually it's going to be sort of a non-event, I think. Let's just wait until it gets to us. This is from somewhere else. This is a reflection of something, or we're making a turn here too, so yeah, no, his wake I think is going to be a non-event. The GPS image doesn't always show well on video, but here we are returning westbound. We're going to turn south. That right there is the Trout River and the Trout River Bridge, and that's it right there. And there are some places for a tiny boat like us to anchor. It's a lot of residential and so on, but we did not go in there. That was one of our potential places to visit. Okay. There's a classic wooden cruiser, and let's see what kind of wake he or she has. I guess if it's a boat, it's a she, and it's very mild. They're cutting the water, and the bigger the boat seems the longer the period. So we're just bouncing through it. If we were parallel to this, we would be rolling significantly because the Hobo has a significant amount of weight in the superstructure. Okay, look at the birds. They love the guy with the crab pots. Yep. They're checking them out. There, they pull up to that other one. There's one crab pot that was back there. It's actually in the channel. So maybe it drifted or something. But look at the opportunistic birds there, eh? We're headed southerly right now. We just negotiated a turn around here. And if it weren't for that, we could see the buildings of Jacksonville. Janet is hugging the inside. Actually, we're out of the channel on the left side because we've got this barge being pushed. The channel is actually from the green over to the shore. We want to avoid them and their wake, so we're going to cut around to the inside. And we are actually going a hair faster than them at the moment, so we might avoid their wake.
We're cutting over to the left. We're out of the channel now because we don't want to be a factor in his way. So that's what we are doing. And Andrew is piloting the boat right now. Captain Andrew. The tug is still doing its job, helping the big barge. Okay, so we have a boat coming in front of us here in the channel. Andrew put it up to 3,000 RPMs or so because the tug is angling towards us to get into the channel here. So we need to speed up to get in front of the tug. But we can't really do it until this guy passes us. This boat is passing us now, passing us on the port side. There he goes. And so now we're going to get the wake right here. This is what happens with us with our little boat. We're hitting the wake of that boat, the cruiser that passed. And we're still trying to get to the other side. Lo and behold, we are faster than the tug now. The one boat passed us on the port side, and now we are cutting over to the left a little bit more to give the tug room because it's following a red buoy marker, so it now knows that we are not a factor and it doesn't have to watch out for us.
This time it's going to favor pushing into the fuel bar. This is the Arlington Marina, just above the Arlington River, and we got fuel here last time. We had a little trouble with the outflow, the current was a little not what we were expecting. Now we've got a little bit of flow in from the tide, and I think it'll help us dock up against the fuel dock better. We're going to get fuel here, pump out if they can, use the washrooms and Wi-Fi. Exchange Club Island, most of it's beyond there. We visited the park the other day. This is the Matthews Bridge, number 115, I think is the highway. So we're going to set up here, turn in, judge what our drift angle is going to be. We're going to end up crabbing in. Okay, commence your turn now. We are turning in to the marina, and we're going to judge our drift. Oh, we got a little tug heading out there.
Those two.
Yeah, we'll go here. Now try and judge your drift, and if we have to crab, you might have to point upriver a hair.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're established. We're going to go in, and it's driving us a little this way, which is good, into the dock.
We arrived in Arlington Marina, and here's Captain Andrew. This is how he has to fuel the boat. He has to get out on the back with the gas hose, and we're waiting for the dockmaster to turn the gas pump on for us. And then we will... The dockmaster is up there at Arlington Marina. And Andrew is now fueling the boat. Okay, the Hobo has his drink of gas. And now we're going to go see what the damage is.
So we went off to pay for the gas and then go up to the lounge and use the Wi-Fi in the washroom.
This is the Arlington Marina cat. I don't know what her name is, but she is a nice, beautiful cat. Very friendly.
After this brief break, we were back on the water, headed south.
We're heading towards Jacksonville. This is the Matthews Bridge. Up ahead is the Hart Expressway Bridge, I believe.
Here's a repair yard. This boat's getting, looks like it's getting a makeover or an all-new superstructure. I'm not sure exactly what. This one from this angle, it's got an open back. That is it's a mobile dry dock, I guess, or at least it's sitting there. They sink it, put the boat in, refloat it, pump out the water.
On the river, we see a lot of activity that reminds us the heart of Jacksonville, or at least originally, historically, has been the river and transportation, shipping. Naval Air Station Jackson is the #1 employer in the area. We have Maxwell House, other industries, all sorts of different things. The trend has been, more recent years, has been finance and healthcare, among other things, as far as leading drivers of the economy.
Well, there you see Jackson skyline in the background and this ferry in the foreground. We were heading parallel to it, but then we thought, wow, it wants to turn, and then we noticed it's green, and then we noticed this dock here. That's the dock it wants to go to. And the pre-dock here is closed, but then, so once we got to the left, the ferry started going in.
We passed through downtown Jacksonville that we had visited, just about 3 days before. We passed under the many bridges without any stops. We came at last to the Railroad Bascule Bridge. Just before it is a bridge where we will answer a question posed at the beginning of this video. This mural under the bridge is of a cow standing in water, and this refers to the fact that this location was called in the native tongue Waka Palatka, which means narrows and for cow crossing. And there is another town farther upriver, Palatka, and it was named similarly for being a narrows. Jacksonville is also very narrow. It does have a strong current and it's very deep, but it's the shortest distance to try and shepherd your cattle or livestock across. So that's what it was called in the native tongue. Early on, this place was called Cowford, or Cowford. Later on, it was renamed Jacksonville. So that is how Jacksonville got its name. We head south upriver, passing through the Bascule Bridge, leaving Jacksonville behind and entering into the broad lake-like river portion of the St. Johns River.
These are the waves. They're coming from the northwest. Good thing we're heading south. So it's helping to push us along instead of slapping our side or making us crack into them from the bow.
Naval Air Station Jackson, and we camped over there on the water behind there at the bottom of the Ortega River, and they were doing, we thought, circuits. The same jets take off, go around, go downwind, base, and here's another guy in the distance, a dot. He's coming in, and they're doing touch and goes. Or at least, I think, they don't touch and go. They taxi off, and then taxi back, I think, and take off. So there are probably at least 4 airplanes involved in this. So they're doing some kind of currency check or something. Other thing is, note the waves. We're surfing right now, and we've got maybe up to 2-foot waves. I'm not sure. Every once in a while, that's my guess. So it's interesting to see the waves go by. If we didn't have a following wind and sea, this would be a pain to be going, and we'd be splashing them over the deck.
Well, that was exciting. We continued south, though, under the second I-295 Ring Road Bridge.
Okay, we're approaching Mandarin Point. This is how we're rolling right now. We want to round it fairly close, do a right angle turn into the Holiday Mandarin Marina. We're going to have our first night in a marina. Mandarin Holiday Marina, we call them. They're normally like $1 a foot, minimum 25 bucks. So $25, we've got a place. Be just under the bridge going into the, I think it's Julington Creek area there. So this is how the Hobo rolls. Yeah, some of these are pretty significant. We take a we do some rolling. I'm trying to compensate standing on the floor here as a dynamic balancer a little bit, but we need this angle to get around the point. Again, Janet's doing a fabulous job.
Trying to. It's hard. It's hard.
This is the Julington Creek Bridge. We're looking pretty much east. That's the Mandarin Holiday Marina, at least the sailboat side mostly. On the far side, I think they're managed by the same folks. That's where we're going. It's the powerboat crowd, and the limiting factor is the height of this bridge. Okay, this is the marina here. We're getting soft. We're going to stay. It's our 15th night. We're going to stay in a marina. Last night we sort of got soft. We stayed at a dock. All the other 13 nights we anchored out. We got it tied at 4 points, and we had to rig a fender up there on the front post. And here there's going to be about 9/10 of a foot rise in tide. Right now it's up about 2/10 or so. So by midnight it's going to be up a full foot. So we're all set. We're going off to some supper. So this marina, I just confirmed, has nothing to do with the marina on the other side. There's a little bit of confusion about names or phone numbers, I think, on my spreadsheet, because I thought this phone number I was calling was the Holiday Mandarin Marina. We have washrooms with a pass code and exit and entrance with a pass code to the docks. One note about this place, it's very reasonable and so on. They don't have a live aboard permit, so they don't have showers. One other thing of interest, I think it's something to do with the McDonald's ice cream machine maintenance contracts. The same thing goes on with pump outs, because this place also has a pump out that doesn't work, and it might be a week or two. So that's been a story, at least at 2 other marinas.
Well, thanks for joining us on the 16th day of our 21-day adventure on the St. Johns River. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you would. We had a great meal at this restaurant right at the dock. This, unfortunately, was the last time that my credit card worked for the trip. Fortunately, I had cash, and my wife had her credit card, so we got home safely. We had our usual game of Ramoli at the end of the day, and off to bed. Tune in for the next episode when part 10 comes out. We're on our way home.